My dear students, myself, Dr. Shivkumar Chopra, your friend and a teacher of accountancy, I have prepared a PPT on the topic provisions and reserves for commerce students, especially for class 11 and 12 students. The students have some difficulty to understand the two terms, provisions and reserves. These two have different meanings, features, objectives, importance, and accounting treatment. So I hope this presentation is useful for you, and please like, share and subscribe it if you find it useful. If there is any suggestion or mistake noticed, please inform me. Thank you. God bless you all. See you soon in the next video also. Now we start with the provisions. What is a provision? Provision means setting aside an amount in an organization's accounts for a known liability or loss, but the amount of which is unknown accurately till the finalization of financial statements. Provision is a charge against the profits, so provision has to be made in the financial statements whether the business entity earns profit or loss. Provision is an estimated amount. Purposes, objectives, or importance of a provision to ascertain the correct profit or loss of the business during the given period and to ascertain correct financial position of the business. And provision is made to provide for known liabilities and expected contingencies of the business and to provide for depreciation in the value of assets or reduction in the value of investments, and to follow the prudence concept of accountancy, that is, to provide for the anticipated losses and expenses, but do not provide for anticipated incomes and gains. Characteristics or features of a provision are to keep the capital of the business intact by making provisions for any loss or diminution in the value of an asset, and to provide for the replacement of a fixed asset by a new asset after its useful life, and to make the uniform distribution of expenses and losses in order to make proper comparison of financial statements. Examples or types of provision are provision for taxation, provision for bad debts, provision for repairs, provision for depreciation, provision for discount on debtors, provision for legal damages, etc. Features and characteristics of a provision are: it is a charge against profits, that is, it is debited to profit and loss account. It is provided for an expected loss, expense, liability, or diminution in the value of an asset. It is a retention of profit out of incomes or profits of the business made for a specific purpose temporarily. Now, what is reserve? A reserve is a portion of profits or profits set aside for future use to meet known or unknown contingencies or to strengthen the financial position of the business. It is an appropriation of profit and not a charge against the profits. Purposes or objective of reserve: a reserve is created to build a cushion for future needs and give business financial strength and stability. And it is made to meet unknown liabilities or losses and to fund future expansion or growth of the business and to keep the working capital intact in emergent or unforeseen circumstances. Characteristics or features of reserve are: it is an appropriation made out of profits, and it is not necessary but created out of financial prudence. And it can be created for a general or specific purpose. And if the amount of reserve is invested in outside securities, the reserve is called reserve fund. Reserves, except capital reserves, can be distributed as profits. Necessity or importance of reserve. Reserves help in making the financial position of the business strong And by creating reserve, the profits are retained in the business, which can be used to meet the unforeseen losses in future or as a source of finance. Reserves help in meeting legal requirements, that is, for example, debenture redemption reserve under the Companies Act 2013. Reserves assist in facing the difficult financial period or when a huge amount is to be paid to debenture holders. Examples of reserve are general reserve, debenture redemption reserve, investment fluctuation reserve, workman compensation reserve, asset replacement reserve, etc. Difference between a provision and reserve. Provision is a charge against the profit, while reserve is an appropriation of profit. Provision is created to meet a known liability or contingency with amount not known exactly. Reserve is created to make the financial position of the business strong. Provision decreases net profit because it is debited to profit and loss account, while reserve decreases the divisible profit because it is debited to profit and loss appropriation account. Provision is created as per law, while reserve is to be created as per financial prudence and legal requirements. Provision is shown in the balance sheet either under the head current liabilities or as a deduction from the concerned asset, while reserve is shown in the liability side in the balance sheet under the head reserve and surplus. Provision is not invested outside the business, while reserve can be invested outside the business and is known as reserve fund. Provision cannot be distributed as profit or dividend, while unutilized part of reserve other than capital reserve can be distributed as a dividend. That's all in this presentation. See you soon in the next video with a new topic. God bless you all. Take care. Thank you very much.